Most dog owners have experienced that magical moment when they say a single word like walk, treat, or outside, and suddenly their dog explodes with excitement. Their ears perk up, their tail starts wagging, and they seem to understand exactly what was said. But have you ever wondered what your dog actually hears when you talk? Do dogs truly understand language, or are they simply reacting to tone and repetition? The answer is far more fascinating than most people realize. Dogs may not understand conversations the same way humans do, but research shows they are surprisingly skilled at interpreting words, emotions, body language, and even the smallest changes in your voice. When you speak to your dog, they are constantly analyzing multiple layers of information at the same time. Humans mainly focus on words, but dogs focus heavily on emotional tone, facial expressions, posture, energy, and sound patterns. This means your dog might not fully understand a sentence like, "I had a stressful day at work," but they can absolutely detect whether you sound happy, angry, calm, anxious, or sad. In many ways, dogs are emotional listening experts. They've evolved alongside humans for thousands of years, learning to survive by reading human behavior more accurately than almost any other animal. One of the most surprising discoveries in canine science is that dogs process language using different sides of their brain, somewhat similar to humans. Studies using brain scans have shown that dogs tend to process familiar words in one hemisphere and emotional tone in another. This means your dog is not just hearing random noise. They're actively separating what you say from how you say it. For example, if you say "good boy" in a cold or angry voice, your dog may become confused because the positive word doesn't match the negative tone. On the other hand, if you say nonsense words in an excited, loving voice, your dog may still react positively because the emotional tone feels rewarding. This is why tone matters so much to dogs. Your dog may not understand every word in your vocabulary, but they become masters at reading emotion through sound. Think about how quickly your dog reacts when your voice changes. If you suddenly raise your voice in frustration, they may lower their ears, avoid eye contact, or slowly walk away. If your voice becomes cheerful and energetic, they may instantly become excited and playful. Dogs are extremely sensitive to vocal emotion because, in the wild, survival depended on reading emotional cues quickly and accurately. Dogs also become experts at pattern recognition. They learn associations between sounds and outcomes. When you repeatedly say "walk" before grabbing the leash, your dog begins connecting that sound with an exciting experience. Over time, the word itself gains emotional meaning. This is why many owners accidentally train their dogs to recognize words without even trying. Some dogs can learn dozens or even hundreds of words simply through repeated exposure and association. Certain highly intelligent dogs have demonstrated remarkable language abilities. Some border collies, for example, have been shown to recognize over 1,000 object names. They can fetch specific toys by name and even learn new words through elimination. But even average family dogs understand much more than people assume. Your dog may know the names of family members, favorite toys, routines, locations, and emotional phrases. Even if they don't fully grasp grammar, they build a powerful mental dictionary based on experiences and emotional outcomes. But words are only one part of the story. Dogs pay enormous attention to your body language while you speak. Imagine calling your dog over while standing stiffly with crossed arms and an angry expression. Even if your words are friendly, your dog may hesitate because your body language sends conflicting signals. Dogs naturally trust nonverbal communication more than spoken words. In fact, many experts believe dogs rely more on movement, posture, and facial expression than actual vocabulary. This explains why dogs sometimes seem to understand you before you even say anything. Your dog may notice subtle habits that happen before certain activities. Maybe you always put on shoes before leaving the house, or maybe you reach for a specific cabinet before feeding them.
Ow.
Dogs become highly observant students of human routine. They constantly watch for tiny signals that predict what will happen next. Dogs are also incredibly sensitive to stress in the human voice. Studies suggest dogs can detect emotional tension even when people try to hide it. If you're upset, anxious, or crying, your dog often notices immediately. Some dogs respond by becoming more affectionate, while others become nervous themselves. This emotional awareness likely developed because dogs evolved to stay closely connected to human emotional states. A calm human often meant safety, while an angry or frightened human could signal danger. Interestingly, Dogs respond especially strongly to something known as dog-directed speech. This is the higher-pitched, exaggerated voice many people naturally use around dogs. While it may sound silly to humans, dogs actually pay more attention to this type of speech. Research suggests dogs find it more engaging and emotionally meaningful. Puppies, in particular, respond strongly to warm, melodic voices because it helps create bonding and attention. However, dogs don't only hear emotion. Their hearing itself is extraordinary compared to humans. Dogs can detect frequencies far beyond human hearing and can hear sounds from much greater distances. This means your dog often hears things long before you do. It may react to footsteps outside, distant car doors, or subtle sounds in another room that humans completely miss. Sometimes owners think their dog is acting strangely for no reason, when in reality the dog is responding to sounds beyond human perception. Because dogs hear so much detail, the environment can strongly affect their emotions. Loud arguments, screaming, fireworks, construction noise, or chaotic households can create stress for sensitive dogs. On the other hand, calm voices and peaceful environments often help dogs feel secure. Your tone becomes part of your dog's emotional world every single day. Dogs also learn to identify specific emotional phrases over time. Many dogs recognize comforting words such as good boy, good girl, okay, or it's all right. Even if they don't understand the full meaning, they associate those sounds with safety and positive feelings. In the same way, harsh words repeated with anger can create fear or anxiety. Dogs remember emotional experiences tied to vocal patterns very strongly. Another fascinating aspect of canine listening is how dogs respond to human laughter and crying. Some studies suggest dogs react differently to emotional sounds compared to neutral ones. When humans cry, many dogs approach cautiously, lick faces, lean against their owners, or display signs of concern. While scientists still debate exactly how deeply dogs understand human emotion, there's little doubt they are highly attuned to emotional distress. Dogs can also distinguish between different human voices. Your dog likely recognizes your voice instantly, even from another room or through electronic devices.
Oh.
Some dogs react to their owner's voice on phone calls or video chats, although the experience can sometimes confuse them because they expect the physical person to appear nearby. Over time, dogs learn which voices belong to trusted individuals and which belong to strangers. What's even more incredible is how dogs adapt to the communication style of different humans. A dog may respond differently to a calm elderly person, an energetic child, or a strict trainer. Dogs constantly adjust their behavior based on vocal tone, confidence, movement, and consistency. This flexibility is one reason dogs have become such successful companions to humans across cultures and lifestyles. Training also reveals how deeply dogs process communication. Successful dog training relies less on dominance and more on clarity, repetition, timing, and emotional consistency. Dogs learn fastest when verbal cues match body language and rewards. Mixed signals confuse them. For example, if an owner says "good dog" while sounding irritated, the dog struggles to interpret the meaning. Clear emotional communication creates trust and understanding. Many owners unknowingly teach their dogs emotional habits through voice patterns alone. If you always sound nervous during thunderstorms, your dog may learn that storms are frightening. If you remain calm and reassuring, your dog may feel safer. Dogs often mirror the emotional energy of the people around them. This emotional synchronization is part of what makes the human-dog bond feel so powerful and personal. Dogs even seem capable of learning conversational rhythms. While they may not understand entire sentences, they notice pauses, repeated names, emotional emphasis, and familiar sequences. Some dogs appear to react differently depending on whether their owner is speaking directly to them or simply talking nearby. Eye contact, tone, and attention cues help dogs determine when communication is meant for them. The emotional bond between humans and dogs becomes especially clear during difficult moments. Many people describe dogs comforting them during grief, illness, loneliness, or emotional breakdowns. While dogs may not fully understand the reasons behind human suffering, they clearly recognize emotional changes and often respond with closeness, affection, or calm presence. Sometimes a dog quietly sitting beside someone says more than words ever could. Interestingly, dogs are also highly sensitive to conflict between humans. Raised voices, Tension and angry body language can create stress for dogs even if the conflict isn't directed at them. Some dogs try to interrupt arguments by barking, whining, or physically placing themselves between people. Others hide or become anxious. Their strong sensitivity to emotional energy means they absorb much more from human interactions than most people realize. At the same time, dogs thrive on positive communication. Enthusiastic praise, gentle tones, and encouraging voices strengthen confidence and trust. This is why positive reinforcement training works so effectively. Dogs naturally seek emotional connection and approval from humans they trust. A warm, happy voice can become one of the most rewarding things in a dog's life. Even silence can communicate something to dogs. Your posture, breathing, tension, and facial expression all send signals. Dogs often know when something feels off, long before humans say a word. Many owners report their dogs behaving differently during illness, stress, or emotional hardship. Scientists believe dogs combine scent detection, behavioral observation, and emotional listening to sense these changes. Ultimately, when your dog hears you talk, they experience much more than just words. They hear emotion, intention, energy, familiarity, rhythm, and connection. Your voice becomes part of their emotional landscape. Every conversation, every greeting, every comforting word, and every excited phrase helps shape the relationship you share. To your dog, your voice is more than sound. Safety during fear, excitement before adventure, comfort during uncertainty, and love during quiet moments. Even when they don't understand every word, they understand you in ways that often go beyond language itself. That may be why dogs and humans have formed such an extraordinary bond over thousands of years. Somewhere between the words, the tone, the eye contact, and the shared emotions, dogs learn to understand the hearts of the people they love most.